Hey, welcome back, Prepper Prophet. Good morning, folks. It is a wonderful, wonderful morning. I want to thank you all for joining. It's been a pretty busy week, so pardon my camera setup. I've been trying to get to taking care of these, cleaning them. I try to do a cleaning at least twice a month. I'm often have to shoot, and then there's days that I need to go shooting. And this video is going to be about our trauma bags, medical bags. Pardon my, I'm a little, I've got a lot on my mind again, and hopefully this video will be a better presentation than the one that we did last week. It is an interesting kind of week this week. Those that those that are partners here with Prepper Prophet, and those that also join here at our home group, we we are often very conscious, very mindful. I guess a better way to say is we are always discerning what's going on in the spirit and around us. I woke up this morning with an interesting idea that the Spirit of God put in my mind, and it's really remarkable how the Holy Spirit draws and is so faithful. And he is unmatched, cannot be compared. And my faith and my relationship with God is something that I have, there's another platform that I use outside of Prepper Prophet. This podcast, this channel is about what to prepare for, how to prepare for, why we're preparing, how to cause others to join you that are with like-mindedness, and those that have a believer's mentality of discerning the day that we're in, discerning what is coming upon us, and the reasoning and the understanding as to why. Now, please understand, if you are setting your heart and your mind on a matter, that does not mean your understanding is the absolute truth. And I'm often having to think about this because I'm always evolving. I'm always learning. I am what you call the proverbial being taught. I am somebody that God has used to teach, but I am always being taught. I'm always learning, and I'm often finding myself apologizing or accepting a higher revelation or a higher understanding as to why I do certain things in my life and decisions that I make in my life. Not only concerning those here that are preppers, but how to be mindful of the events, the things that are going on around you, and how to discern them, how to begin to make decisions, hard decisions, the harder decisions in the midst of difficulty. I keep getting these quick phrases in my mind, in my understanding, that I need to share. And this was the particular thing that happened this morning, or conversation, or the way I woke up again this morning. I woke up with an understanding, and I woke up with an understanding about God and about how serious and how important it is, first and foremost, that although I'm a prepper and you are a prepper, it is really important. Just because you don't necessarily agree or believe in God does not mean that you cannot learn about God. Does not mean that you can't search an understanding about God. If you begin to get shut down, you are closed off to the things of God, you can really determine something about yourself in a reflection, or in reflection to why you're a prepper, and why you feel so moved and so serious about the understanding of why you're prepping. And I often tell my wife that, I'm always concerned that I'm not going off over this side. I'm not losing my mind, if you will. I'm not excessive, or I'm not behaving compulsively. And I'm not doing anything that does not seem, although led by the Spirit of God, that I'm not becoming narrow visioned or focused on the physical efforts being a prepper as much as I am my spiritual efforts as being a prepper. And that's something I wanted to share with those of you also this morning, that it is very, very important that you be rounded, completely rounded, wholesome, and not lacking anything, and tying in your understanding of why you've become somebody that is preparing, and an idea of why you are preparing. Many preparers that I know have a myriad of different things that they're preparing for, and they are vague in their efforts, vague in their supplies, vague in what their plans are. But I am telling you this day that you can be very accurate, and you can be very precise, and you can be absolutely and wonderfully led by the Lord to make the preparations for you and your family. So forgive me, because my sinuses are really acting up this morning. So I wanted to share that, although it's 7 minutes. I did want to take some more time and show you one of our trauma bags. Now, this is a bag. This is a bag that was being discarded by my son's engine company, and it has a tear up underneath, actually on the outside layer here. So they gave us one of the patches, and he put one of his patches on here. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things that I think are going to be extremely important for you. As I am fortunate to have a son that is actually now preparing to go back to school for other degrees, other intentions in the medical field. He's incredibly smart, my son, thank God, because he does not get that from me. He gets that from the Lord. So I wanted to show you some important things, but first and foremost, let me say something. The intention of a trauma bag is that very definition, trauma. You have to think about why you are perceiving and understanding about a period where there's going to be a lot of trauma. Now, trauma could be in many different ways. It could be psychological, it could be emotional, psychological, emotional, it could be physical, it could be, trauma can come to an individual in many ways. For me, an understanding of trauma, I take it on an understanding of like a battle zone or a conflict. And the common trauma would be a wound, a gunshot wound. Often many people, let's just also say hunting wounds from somebody going out hunting, falls, catches a stick, tears a skin, breaks an ankle, those kinds of things, or a conflict, gunshot wounds, knife wounds, those kinds of things. So first and foremost, there are a number of YouTubers that could better give you better understanding about preparing for trauma and for a number of different situations. Depending on where you live, can very much depend on how you are going to build a trauma bag. So the number one focus for me, and I think many of you can also understand that if you have children, that is a whole nother level of trauma. Breathing, allergies, nebulizers, inhalers. Those are a whole nother issues that you need to deal with, particular to your situation if you have children. Adults, the same way. Breathing traumas can be also just as serious as a gunshot wound trauma. So first and foremost, you're going to want to get items that will be, for me, particular to, and there's a name that my son uses, and I can't remember the name, but it's basically you're going to cause a wound to coagulate. You are going to cause the stopping of a bleed. Now, that kind of concern can come upon a person in many ways, meaning that you could have a trauma to an arm, a trauma to a leg, a trauma to the head, or a trauma to your body, your chest, your breathing, your stomach. These types of traumas all have different ways that need to be treated. And I would say this: if you are somebody that has an experienced medical person around you, close to you, a neighbor, if you don't know how to deal with those things, or if you're not able to learn of those things, buy the things that you think would come in handy to the individual that is close to you, that you can go get and rely on. You can do whatever, you can strike a deal, ask, you can partner, you can be friends, you could, however that relationship is built, but get the items that you think he or she may say or give you an idea of what would be important. And these are the things that my son has told me that are very important. And first and foremost are things that you need to clean a wound. Okay. There are a number of things that we have here that are amazing for wound cleans. Now, you may come up with other items. Now, these items are expensive. This is a very, very good item here. I was able to get these with a $5 discount, and I bought a couple of them, and I have them in other bags. So this is also another one. Inhalers. Is this an inhaler? Yeah, this is an inhaler. Get an inhaler if you can. Get an inhaler if you can, and if you can, put one in a bag. Another thing is going to be different kinds of tape and scissors. So there are gauze pads that you can buy, and they're a little bit expensive. But if you can get a pack of these, along with some of these, you can essentially give a person, a friend, a family member, enough time to go get somebody that's got the experience to go and help rescue them. There are gauze. Here's another item that you may want to have in your bag. Burn relief. Now, there are lotions, creams, other things that you can get. So you can do that. But you can find these that have, they're like a military paramedic hospital gauze pad that has material in it or chemical in it that will cause a bleed to coagulate. And that is key. That is key because if you can stop the bleed, you can prolong a person from bleeding out and dying. Now, depending on where the wound is, that is obviously going to make a difference. You can work on stopping a bleed, but if it's, in a lung, you're in trouble. There's serious things that you can do to help a person live long enough with even a chest wound, whether it's a knife or a gunshot. there is, I forgot the name of it, but there is a vacuum issue with a chest wound that you need to cover the hole, that as the person bleeds, the wound does not allow the lung to ventilate aside from your breathing. And it also helps prevent the individual from bleeding and filling up their lungs with blood. So there's a lot of things to learn, and you can learn these things on YouTube channels, other providers, but it is a very serious, a very important thing that you should begin to consider. Now, you may have other items that you'll want to put in your bag. You can put, like I said, you can put, what else do I have in here? I have this stuff here, which is very expensive, but this basically, this is for all kinds of flesh wounds, surgeries. If you are able to deal with an issue that somebody may have a wound and you don't want them to be septic, you can keep the wound clean, and you can put this and keep it open, and you can put this inside the wound, and then bandage the wound and prevent a person becoming further infected and becoming septic. Now, this is not an antibiotic, but this is what I have had for a foot injury, and I just am fortunate enough to have an extra jar of this, a bottle of this, that I put in my med bag. Now, many people, you can put aspirin, Tylenol. You can even take medication that you've gotten for, antibiotics, amoxicillins, and stuff like that. And you can just put them in here, store them for an extra year or two if you need to, and then after that, dispose of them. I'm not a doctor. Let me just say that very clear. This is my own personal trauma bags that my son has helped me to put together just in case. Now, there's going to be other things that I'm adding to this bag. I'm really interested in breathing inhalers. I do think that breathing issues are going to be something really, really a serious issue. So I'm any chance I can to pick up a sinus flush, anything to help with preventative. Don't forget your vitamins. Build your immunity up. Take your vitamins. Do the things that you can do now before whatever you may believe is coming, that you are not going to be susceptible to infection and having to be out in the general public and put you or yourself, your family members at risk for things that you may need or may want, or you feel that you may be lacking. Get all that now. Now, some of you may say, I just don't have the money for that. Listen, you don't need a trauma bag. You can have a regular backpack, and you can take and go get a sticker, a patch. You can just identify it with maybe some tape with it somewhere. And begin to take all the things that you can pick up on the clearance racks or in clearance in Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, wherever you can go, and begin to get these things on clearance. Creams, burn creams, you can get really cheap. Aspirin, Advil, you can get really cheap. Another key would be something that many people don't know, but it's important for your teeth. There are kits that you can buy if you get a broken tooth or a chipped tooth. There is a putty clay type material that you can buy, and you can put it on a broken tooth, and it helps that tooth from being so oversensitive that you do not basically fall out of the ability to make decisions because you're overwhelmed in pain and agony from this tooth. So think about that. Think about things that are going to be important when it's going to be hard to find medical help. Folks, thank you for joining me. I hope this video is done better than the previous ones. It is something that is very important, and it is extremely important. And if anybody has any questions, please put your question inside of the comment section. My email should be on the bottom. You can email me, and I will do my best to get back to you. We are still a very, if you will, a new channel, and I have put this channel aside for a few years in lieu of doing other teachings and different understandings. But this is going to become a primary platform here for me. I am taking on some training. I have to go to another part of the state, so that will cause me, that will enable me to do as many videos as I was hoping to start doing again. But I will do my best. I promise I will do my best to bring to you information. We'll have conversations and continue to talk about the things that I do believe are very important for us. Folks, God bless you. As Prepper Prophet, begin to prepare and begin to grow your relationship with your God, and begin to learn to trust and confide in Him, and confide in those that you have brought to be in your circle. God bless you, folks.